Hi everyone, you're welcome back to my channel. In today's tutorial, I'll be showing you step by step on how to cut and sew a fitted bustier dress for a plus size ladies. I'll also be sharing some important techniques that will help you to achieve a perfect fitted bustier, whether you have a small breast with a plus size body or you have a fuller bust with a slim or fat body frame. This video is for you. I'll also teach you how to cut a breast part that will accommodate your breast perfectly. This method is for beginners and advanced learners, so don't skip any part so that you won't miss any important parts. I'll be marking on a paper for the purpose of clarity, and I want to start from the scratch so that you won't get confused along the line. I will start by placing her vertical measurement. To get her chest line, I will divide her round bust by 6 and I will add extra 2 inches to that. This calculation works for all body sizes. From her shoulder to her bust point is 13 inches. Please make sure you take your measurement on your client body. So for this my client, her bust point is 13, her under bust is 18 inches, and her half length is 22 inches. After marking that, I will rule out the lines. This pattern is for people with the bust circumference of 48 to 58. So make sure you don't skip any parts, because you'll be learning a whole lot. In a situation where you did not measure your client bust point, you can get it by measuring from your chest line to 2 inches. Just measure 2 inches from your chest line. That's the easiest way to get the bust point line. So you make sure you label your line so that you won't get confused. My client shoulder width is 18 inches, so I will divide it by 2 to mark 9 inches. I'll place the 9 inches on the starting point and on the chest line so that I can get a straight line. After that, I will mark quarter of her round bust. I will place the measurement on the chest line. So when you are making bustier dress for a plus size person, it's very important you place her round under bust measurement on the under bust line so that the bust area will be well fitted. So I place quarter of her round under bust on the under bust line. On the half length, I will mark quarter of her round waist and I will mark 1 inch for that intake. The standard neckline for a plus size person is 4 inches by width and 4 inches by depth. Though this is not the actual neckline I'm going to be using for this blouse, I will curve the neckline. On the shoulder line, I will come down by 1 inch and I will slant it to the neck width for the shoulder slant. To curve the armhole, I will divide what I have left. I'll come in by ½ inch. I will curve my armhole the way you see me doing. The next thing is to mark her nipple to nipple point measurement, which is the dot line. My client nipple to nipple point measurement is 11 inches. So you divide 11 inches by 2. I have 5.5. In a situation where you did not measure it on your client, what you need to do is to divide the round bust measurement by 5 inches to get the accurate measurement. This calculation works for all body sizes. The next thing now is to tighten the under bust. So if your client have a big bust, you need to mark 1.25 on this center front side. If your client is a plus size but have a small breast, you mark 1 inch on this side or 1.5 depending on how full the breast is. For this my client, I will mark 1 inch on this side because her breast is not big. 1 inch on this side and 2 inches on this side. If it's someone with a fuller bust, you can mark 2.5 on this side front so that the cup can pack the breast very well. On the bust point line, I'll come down by 1 inch so that I can curve the cup. When you are making a bustier dress for a plus size person, you don't rule that leg straight down. What you do is to come in by 1 inch on this side and connect it the way you see me doing. On this side, you mark ½ inch and roll it straight down. The reason is that most plus size people have big tummy. This will help to accommodate the big tummy so as to give it that fitted shape. So I will add 1/2 inch on this side so that it won't look like a flare. All right, can you see the shape that I have now? The next thing now is to mark her cup size. This cup size is how well I want the cleavage to cover. So from the under bust, I will come up by 9 inches. For me, I'm bust 42, but I normally mark 7.5 inches from my under bust. For a plus size, you mark 9 inches. If you're someone with a fuller breast, you can mark 9.5 or 10 inches. So on that point, I'll make a straight line. I'll also mark half of her nipple point measurement there. You measure 5.5. You rule it straight to connect it. This line now is called the overbust line. So I'll be tightening it with 0.75 on the both start line. On the bust point line, I'll come up by 1 inch so that I won't have sharp point on that bust area. I'll be replacing what I have on this overbust line, which is 1.5. I took 0.75 on the both that line, which is 1.5. So the 1.5, I will mark it on the armhole area, and I will reconnect my armhole the way you see me doing. This thread I'm making for my client is not off shoulder. It will have a yoke. So to mark the sweetheart neckline, I came down by 2 inches from the overbust line, and I will curve the sweetheart neckline the way you see me doing. If you want the sweetheart neckline to be deep, you can mark 1 inch below the chest line to curve it. This is an elderly person, that's why I mark 1 inch from the overbust line. I don't want it to be too deep. For the neck width, I will be marking the total of 5 inches. Please ignore the basic neckline I marked before. So for the neck depth, I mark 6 inches in total. After that, I'll go ahead and curve the neckline. I'm done with the drafting part. I'll go ahead and cut it out. After cutting it out, the next thing is to transfer the pattern to my fabric. So I've gone ahead to do that. I added 1/2 inch on the center front. On this side front, I added 2.5 inches. For the yoke, I've added my necessary sewing allowances. I cut out 2 for the yoke, 1 for the nude net and 1 for the matching color of the lace that I'm working with. I used nude net because I don't want to be piping the neckline with bias. So I'll be using the nude net to turn the neckline of the yoke. I also cut my lining, and I've gone ahead to iron my tissue gum stay both on the lining and on the satin fabric that I'll be using for the lamination. For the pattern, I'll be using this lightest wadding on the lining and this medium weight foam on the main fabric. You can use anything for your pattern. As long as you tighten your underbust properly, it doesn't matter which type of pad you are using, it will still come out well. So I will go ahead now to cut it out. After cutting it out, you have something like this. The next thing is to shape your breast pad to match your breast shape. This is the center front. So as I mentioned earlier, the cup size is 9 inches. That's from your underbust to how well you want your cleavage to cover. That's what I have here. So for the width, I'll be taking 5 inches for this my client. If it's someone with a fuller breast, you can mark 6 inches. A moderate breast can mark 5.5 inches. But for this my client, I mark 5 inches. I'll go ahead and give it the shape that I want. Can you see how I curved it? After that, I'll be reducing the length by 1/2 inch. so that when I'm fixing the yoke it won't obstruct it. I'll go ahead and cut it out. After cutting it out, I will be having 8.5 inches for the length of the breast part. I'll measure it for you to confirm. For the center front part, I'll first of all shape the underbust area so that it won't be looking funny. I reduced it by 1.5 inches and I slanted it the way you see me doing. I'll also reduce the upper part by ½ inch, the same thing I did on the side front. After doing that, I'll measure what I have, whether I have the same thing with the side front. You cross check whether it's matching, so that when you are joining it you won't find it difficult. My own is matching. So the next thing now is to use my wadding to cut exactly what I have on my foam for the lining parts. So I'll do that off camera. Please don't forget to notch the upper part and the side so that when you are joining it you won't get confused. So I will use my hemming gum to place on the main fabric, that's on my setting, so that it can sit together. As you can see, I make sure that I don't have any space in between the hemming gum. You fill in the space. After that, I will place the breast part on it and iron it so that it can stick together. Use your steam iron to press it down. If you don't have a steam iron, sprinkle water on it and iron it properly. So I'm done doing that. The next thing now is to join the cups together. As you can see, I've laminated my lace on my satin. So I've also ironed my wadding, my light wadding on the lining. So I'll go ahead and join it. You join your cup the way you normally join your cup. After joining the cup, this is the outcome. Can you see, even without ironing it, the cup is really looking very nice. You don't need to do too much, just draft your cup very well. So the next thing now is to notch the underbust. Notch it both on the lining on the main fabric. After notching the underbust, I will use my breast ball, open press it and iron it properly. You also turn it to the right side to iron. After ironing it, I have something like this. The cup really came out looking so beautiful. If you find my video helpful, make sure you subscribe to my channel.